Right now, breaking news on News Channel 8.
Right now, an active crime scene at an exclusive address. Investigators trying to figure out what happened at a home in Ozona. Good evening. I'm Stacy Scheibel.
And I'm Keith Kate. Thank you for joining us tonight. This investigation is playing out as we speak at a home along Shore Drive near the Ozona Fish Camp in Pinellas County. Eagle 8 flew over the scene just a short time ago, and we can see the crime scene tape already there. Numerous investigators also on site. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office released a little bit of information, not a lot, but they say they answered a call just after 3:30 today about a disturbance here.
And News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson, he has just arrived at the scene. Jeff, what have you learned?
Good evening, Stacey and Keith. Well, as you said, we just arrived here on scene. We are on Shore Drive, immediately adjacent to the Ozona Fish Camp. And let me kind of stand out of the way so we can zoom into what's going on here. There is a large law enforcement presence from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. Crime scene investigators are here on scene. We can see some of the members of the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office examining the front yard here of this home on Shore Drive. A lot of law enforcement here. They've put up crime scene tape, obviously, to preserve some kind of a crime scene. But the only thing that the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office is saying at this time is that there was some kind of disturbance at this home and that there is no threat to the public. However, we can tell just by seeing the large number of sheriff's deputies here and crime scene investigators here that obviously this is a very serious situation, that they are making sure that they preserve any evidence that might be in the front of the home, that they preserve the crime scene as whatever investigation is going on here moves forward. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, as we've said, has not released very much information at all about this situation, but they do say as they receive any updates that they will let us know about that. And of course, we will present that to you as we get this information. But this is a very nice, rather eclectic community here in Ozona. Homes that have been together for some time. These people obviously have known each other for a long time. So we will continue to gather information as we can and present it to you as it becomes available. But for now, reporting live in Pinellas County, I'm Jeff Patterson, 8 on your side.
Thank you, Jeff. And now to a couple of high-end heists, one in Hillsborough County and one in Miami.
New video shows the botched robbery attempt at a Town and Country jewelry store, and tonight the owner of that store is speaking out. News Channel 8's Melissa Marino is on Sheldon Road in Town and Country where it happened. Melissa.
Hey, good evening. Yeah, these thieves, they certainly had their eyes on some high-end things, including a safe filled with jewelry here from this store and some high-end bags from Miami. Crooks with an eye for the finer things.
Easy pay job, 3 minutes in and out, a lot of money.
Video shows a group of thieves smashing their way into the Deluxe Jewelers in Town and Country back in March.
So they use a big crowbar to open the door and to hit the camera, the ring camera that I had outside. Once they got in, they start pushing the cases around.
Store owner Carlos Enrique says the thieves went straight for the safe.
Tried to load it on the truck, and it took them a little bit there, but once they went, I guess they were in a rush, and the safe just fell out of the truck.
The thieves took off, leaving the safe on the ground.
I think the police was coming at that point. That's why they left in such a rush.
Days later, police say the same group of thieves broke into a store in Miami Beach. Video shows them filling garbage cans with 60 Hermes Birkin designer handbags worth nearly $2 million.
The same guys were robbed the Miami store, and the connection was the car. They used the same car to go pick up the bags.
Police arrested the owner of the vehicle connected to both robberies, Eduardo Garcia. Thankfully, Carlos says he got all of his jewelry back, but the thieves caused thousands in damage to his store. He wants all of them held accountable.
These people are still out there. Like, why?
Garcia is facing several charges, including grand theft. Stacey?
You can see, Melissa, several people in the videos there. Do police plan to charge anyone?
Apparently, we are told police are looking for those other suspects. So far, though, they have not been able to charge them, but they do tell me this is an ongoing investigation.
All right, Melissa Marino live in Town and Country. Thank you.
The 4-day search of the Auburndale home belonging to the boyfriend of a missing woman has ended without a major break in the case, at least for the time being. The family of Tanya Whipp remain hopeful that answers are a little bit closer as we near that 1-year anniversary of her disappearance. Whipp last spoke to her family last May. Her boyfriend, Russell Carroll, was arrested last week. He's accused of accessing and withdrawing Whipp's money in the months following her disappearance.
It was very emotional. At one point I was crying, at one point I was screaming. I was very excited that he was arrested because that's the first step for justice for Tanya.
According to court records, Carroll has been told by detectives that he is the prime suspect in Whipp's disappearance and homicide. Her body has not been found, but she is presumed dead.
Hundreds of people were gathered at an Airbnb in Tampa over the weekend, causing Tampa police to step in and shut that party down. It happened on West Azeel Street near South Howard Avenue. TPD says their officers were on a proactive patrol, so they were able to shut it down quickly. They say the owner of that Airbnb didn't know about the party. Residents in the area say they're used to bar crowds, but this was different.
That was something I've never experienced. You know, you're used to it to a certain degree and you're able to kind of cope with it, but not to the point where it's that unsafe.
Police tell us there were no injuries or arrests because of the party. They say hosting large gatherings on properties that aren't yours without the proper permits will not be tolerated.
A 13-year-old student has found himself in handcuffs, accused of making violent threats against his school, and many parents are concerned about it. According to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office, the teenager threatened to shoot up Tyrone Middle School with an assault rifle and handguns. Detectives say the 13-year-old logged into another student's porthole account to send threatening messages to multiple teachers. That student stated that, hey, it was just a joke. But parents say this is no laughing matter, especially with frequent problems on campus.
They need to have more security here. My grandson's been bullied the whole time he's been coming to this school.
That student faces charges on a written threat to kill and aggravated stalking of a minor child. Time now to get your first check on the weather with our chief meteorologist, Jeff Baradelli.
You know, I always love a good break in the humidity, but when it's this hot, it doesn't make a huge difference.
I mean, it's at least something. And honestly, this is one of probably the last humidity dips that we see for the season. Once we get into rainy season, that is it. It's humid each and every day. Looking outside right now, the temperature is 83 in Crystal River. The humidity not particularly high. It really is a beautiful end to the day out there in Crystal River. And take a look at your current dew points all across the area in the 60s. This is nice. If you remember Saturday, we had a feels like temperature of 108 degrees in Tampa. We had those dew points way into the high 70s to near 80. Actually, during the day Saturday, so we're getting a bit of a break here. Current temperatures across the area: 86 Newport Richey, 87 St. Pete. A little warmer inland, obviously. Winter Haven, it's 91. The sea breeze doesn't reach there. Max Defender 8 radar, as you can see, we do have a few showers now entering our viewing area, and they're very gradually making their way to the southwest. And so Polk County, Hardy, DeSoto, Highlands County, there's a chance that we could see a couple of showers over the next couple of hours. Otherwise, it just stays warm, and it's a nice evening. Temperatures dropping from the 80s eventually into the 70s. But the big story is heat is going to build big time over the next few days. We'll talk about it coming up.
Tampa City leaders broke ground on a big project today that's going to provide a place to live for hundreds and hundreds of people. It's the Rome Yards development, and it's located along North Rome Avenue near Columbus Drive. Phase 1 of construction is now just getting underway. It will provide 234 residences, with 80% of them set aside for people with incomes 80% or less than the average for the area.
And stands as an example of the future of housing in the city of Tampa. We have market rate all the way to affordable units. Everybody's living together. You can't tell one unit from the other. That's the future of our city.
Once it's complete, Rome Yards will offer more than 950 residences and a workforce training center.
Tonight, Pinellas County Commissioners are addressing a looming inspection deadline for aging condos. They're considering a local ordinance to help clarify, administer, and enforce the local milestone inspection process that is due by the end of the year. A new state law requires condos more than 30 years old to be inspected for any structural issues. It also forces condo associations to have enough money in reserves to cover the cost of potential repairs before the end of the year.
No more taking the bus for a Bay Area veteran who was struggling to get around. Rodney Tinsley served more than 5 years in the U.S. Air Force. Lately, though, it's been difficult for him to make ends meet and care for his teenage son. So today, Geico, Crash Champions, and the group Hillsborough County Veterans Helping Veterans gave him a refurbished 2016 Acura.
I was not able to commute. I lost work. I've kind of struggled to have housing, to be honest. And this is an amazing gift. This is going to mean a lot to me and my son. And I cannot thank all of you enough for this.
Tinsley also received some gift cards to provide a little extra help. The National Auto Body Council Recycled Rides program has refurbished and given away more than 3,300 vehicles since it began in 2007.
Even had the green bow right on top, ready to go. Good for him. Well, everyone should have some extra food and water on hand as we head into hurricane season.
Now a Bay Area food bank can do the same thing. Coming up, how the Red Cross is providing some assistance before a potential storm to make sure that this food bank has what it needs.
Also tonight in sports, the new Bucs offense is already taking shape. The head coach, Todd Bowles, telling us where things stand, though, at this point of the offseason.
You're watching News Channel 8 at 6 with Stacy Scheibel, Keith Kate, Dan Lucas Sports, and Chief Meteorologist Jeff Faradelli.
A crew from the Coast Guard's Clearwater Air Station is helping out in the Bahamas. They rescued 6 people from a life raft near the island of Great Inagua in the Atlantic. The Coast Guard says those people ended up in a life raft after their 90-foot schooner sank north of the island. This is video of one of those rescues. At last report, the Coast Guard was still looking for 2 more women wearing yellow survival suits.
A Plant City father says his children were involved in a school bus crash last month, and he ended up with the hospital and ambulance bills that totaled thousands of dollars. David Toloff says that his 12-year-old daughter and her twin brother were on their way to school on a school bus in Plant City back on April 16th when a car slammed into the bus. An ambulance took Toloff's daughter to the hospital. Then he received thousands of dollars in medical bills. He contacted the Hillsborough County School District and they gave him a number to call, but he says nobody answered.
Through a bunch of conversation back and forth, she seemed a little bit delusional, I guess you could say. So just as precautionary measures, we asked that she be transported to the hospital just to be checked out, which everything turned out to be fine. But then I started receiving bills on an accident that I have nothing to do with.
A school district spokeswoman tells Shannon that they were sorry to hear that the parent was unable to reach the district, but now that they know about this, they will work to resolve the issue. The bills will be sent to the district's insurance company for payment. Sarasota County's only food bank is gearing up for hurricane season, which is now less than 2 weeks away.
It's right here. Today, they received some special equipment from the American Red Cross that will help increase their capacity to respond in case of a disaster. News Channel 8's Allison Henning with more.
It takes a lot of space to help feed the community in times of crisis. These 2 massive refrigerated containers gifted to the nonprofit this week will help increase their fresh food capacity by about 20%, which adds up to more than 100,000 pounds of food. Hurricane Ian left behind a massive path of destruction back in 2022, leaving families without power and access to fresh food. All Faiths Food Bank had all hands on deck, responding in Sarasota, Charlotte, and DeSoto counties, serving nearly 378,000 meals in the wake of the storm. An assessment found extra freezer and refrigeration space was the nonprofit's most significant and immediate need during that time.
You can never be 100% ready, but doing everything you can to make sure you're as ready as you possibly could be.
Going into this hurricane season, a gift from the American Red Cross is expected to help strengthen All Faiths' ability to do even more good after a disaster strikes.
We said, how can we help? How can we expand your capacity? How can we help you provide more food for our citizens, our community?
A ceremonial ribbon cutting celebrated the addition of 2 new refrigerated containers with backup generator support, as well as heavy machinery to help move food throughout the warehouse more efficiently during a disaster. It was made possible through the Red Cross's Community Adaptation Program, which focuses on areas that face a high risk for extreme weather and high levels of social vulnerabilities.
Having the extra space allows us to respond to more residents that are hurt. and that are in need.
I'm told just last week, everyone who is a part of this nonprofit organization completed training, so they are ready to respond to the next disaster. Reporting in Sarasota County, Allison Henning, 8 on your side.
Okay, Mr. Berardelli. You're looking at...
I like the way you pronounced that, by the way.
Yes.
That was good.
That's the way it's supposed to be
The
pronounced.
extra R. The extra R.
Berardelli.
I don't even do that. He really went the extra mile just now. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know, we have
I
this
see
thing.
it. Sympathetic.
Yes, that too. But the temperatures, you're looking at records in different places. Or at least we're thinking about it, right?
We're going to be very close to record highs the next couple of days. We'll probably get very close. Whether or not we actually hit a record, not sure, but either way, it's going to be hot around here. So let's show you the records, and the ones in pink are the ones that we're most likely to tie or get close to tying. Bradenton on Thursday, 94, it's possible. Thursday should be the hottest day. Ruskin, 95 on Thursday, that is certainly possible. St. Pete tomorrow, 93, that's not out of the question. Tampa Airport, 95 on Thursday, again, that is conceivable. We'll see if we get there. Marina Point right now, it's cooled down just a little bit. 89 is the current temperature, northwest winds at around 8. We're looking at St. Petersburg in the distance right there. There are a couple of showers over eastern parts of our viewing area across Polk County. And down into Highlands County, a couple of showers now moving into the county. Over the next couple hours, there will be a couple of showers moseying their way across the state. Most folks are not going to see it, but it's conceivable you may run into an isolated shower. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly clear overnight tonight and pretty comfortable tomorrow morning because the dew points are low. And when the air is dry, temperatures tend to go down a little bit more. Some temperatures in the 60s. And other temperatures in the low 70s close to the coast. All right, tomorrow afternoon, a couple of spotty showers, but the chance you will see rain again, 10 or maybe at most 20%. It's a nice day, but it's a hot day. And then Thursday, notice very few clouds and really no rain out there. So because we're going to see blazing sun, that's going to be the hottest day, I think. We're going to see high temperatures in the mid-90s, pretty much everybody. If you're going to be boating during the day tomorrow, lucky you, it's going to be great. Winds generally around 10 knots or less and seas about 2 feet or less. Water temperatures now up to around 85, 86. All right, so here's this heat dome, and it's going to be giving us a lot of heat over the next several days, straight through next week, but it's also blocking fronts from reaching us, and so we're not talking about any rain. Even though rainy season should be beginning right about now, it's not because the heat dome is kind of keeping it dry around here. The front eventually will sag to the south, and by the middle of next week, Wednesday or Thursday, we may squeeze out a couple of showers by then. But until then, it's just heat. That's the main weather story. So take a look at the city closest to you, Dade City, 93 tomorrow, 95 on Thursday, 96 degrees on Friday. Wauchula, 95, 96, 97. Even St. Pete, 93, 92, 92. It's pretty hot. The humidity is low the next couple of days, but notice as the humidity goes up Friday and especially next week, heat index numbers go up as well. So take a look at the heat index in Dade City on Friday. It's 101. So that's when we start to feel a little more uncomfortable. Wauchula, 103. Lakewood Ranch, 105. Rain chances, though, remain very low. As long as that heat dome's on top of us, basically almost zero rain chances. But by the middle of next week, a couple of spotty showers are possible. Notice the average high is 89, and we're above that average straight through the middle of next week. All right, so here's a look at your 8-day forecast. Heat is the main situation, and then the humidity starts to creep in for Memorial Day weekend, so that's going to be really muggy as we head towards Memorial Day itself. 93, but feels like temperatures around 100 to 105 degrees. That's your weather forecast. Now here's a look at coming up on News Nation.
News Nation tonight. In his first live TV interview, the first human patient fitted with Elon Musk's new brain implant device. Now he joins Chris to share how Neuralink has changed his life and is taking your calls live. Tonight on Cuomo at 8, 7 Central, only on News Nation. Bill O'Reilly on Cuomo.
I don't say it often, but Bill O'Reilly is spot on.
TV's liveliest, most honest debate.
And I enjoy doing this with you. I would never tell anybody that, Cuomo, so keep it just between you and me, okay?
Tonight at 8, 7 Central, only on News Nation. To find News Nation, go to joinnn.com.
We also have the channels listed on your screen, but we'll be right back with Dan Lucas Sports after this.
Well-organized team activities are underway at the Bucs facility, but one absentee was offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs. Head coach Todd Bowles asked if perhaps this is contract-related. Bowles said Wirfs has worked out at the facility frequently this offseason. Doesn't sound too concerned. Regardless of the situation, would have been nice to see the entire offense together on day one of workouts because we keep hearing good things about new coordinator Liam Cohen. Now, quarterback Baker Mayfield told us last week that this offense requires a little more thinking, and Todd Bowles agrees during this early part of the offseason.
All 11 guys got to have a great understanding of what the defense is doing and what they have to do off of it. So we're building that and we're getting there. This was the first time it was full speed for everybody, and there were some plays that were successful, some plays we like to have back. But, you know, it's a process, and it's him getting to know them and them getting to know him.
And look who is back. Yes. Lightning fans, defenseman Ryan McDonough traded to the Bolts today from the Nashville Predators, where he actually scored against his old teammates. We'll show that to you once. A huge piece of those back-to-back Stanley Cups. McDonough revealed something interesting in a conference call.
Leadership there is obviously, you know, still tremendous. And like I said, I called Stammer today. He's just getting off the ice with Cooch, and it's like, what is it, May 24th today or whatever. I mean, how can you not be excited to join a group of guys like that are, you know, working on their game here after just being bounced in the first round?
So the Kucherov workouts were legendary last summer. Apparently now he's got Stamkos with him.
I thought they golfed in the summer.
No, apparently they are skating and getting ready for the season.
Well, when you have the kind of season that Cooch had, I mean, you know, everybody wants to kind of show me how you did that. All right.
Well, thank you for joining us. Nightly News is coming your way next.
And we'll see you back here tonight for News Channel 8 at 11. Good night.